You can see the 4-person team of Killball standing in the middle. You see a rather large gentleman. Hang on, I'm making a large gentleman, but not actually a large creature. You see him standing there of a technically, like, techie ball in one hand, tossing it up in the air. You have the right to challenge this team for an excellent prize today, ladies and gentlemen. The other steward is actually this person that Prava is looking at.
Lovely. I was just gonna, like, cheering, slowly saddle over here. What was the name this person was given?
Razi. There you go.
Okay. Telepathic communication. Probably not even looking at her. Greetings, Razi.
She looks towards you a bit shocked. It's like, hello.
Actually, hold on. Would I have lost my racial telepathy when I?
You have Thiveron.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Perfect. Captain Prava of the station, currently in disguise.
I see. One moment. So you can see a check of the communicator. I see. Okay. I now understand the situation.
I see. Do you have any leads that your companion didn't know about? Are these guys under the influence?
The people down there, I have not seen them, but they've been crushing every other team that has come out.
So suspect for sure.
Yes. And apparently, the people up in the top, quote-unquote, Noble's box up there is the sponsors of the team.
Let's see, I take it they're not accepting visitors at the moment.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
So how does this operation work here? Are there registered teams, or is this a come and play free-for-all?
It seems like a come and play free-for-all right now. They're daring people to come and try to beat this team. They may be making money off of, the bets.
Are we 4-4 free balling?
Free ball.
Well, Prava hates this fucking sport, so he's not enthusiastic about that idea.
Wait, so what are the rules? I'm a bear.
I'm a fucking bear. It's like people looking at the like uplifted bear. It's like, I ain't seen those in a while.
I'm assuming Prava knows all the rules. Like, what's the position, the big guy? Is he like the quarterback equivalent? Is he like the...
He is definitely the basically the frontliner. He's like meant to be the big guy who knocks out the dude who's trying to get the ball first, you know?
Yeah.
And then passes it back to his team. That's how it normally works.
See, if we play, Bryn has like the look to fill that position, but I'm not sure if she has the strength to fulfill that position.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a strong bear. Strong. Listen to me. I'm terrified.
I am bear.
I mean, yes, there is definitely something scary about that voice. I can't think anymore. Someone has to talk to this lady for me, alright? I can't. I'm done.
So,
Thiveron's probably standing out less at this point than you guys.
So, what you guys gonna do? Is somebody else gonna walk up and talk to the lady? Because she's looking at Prava like, what's wrong? You seem to be looking towards that uplifted bear a lot.
One of my crew members also in disguise, but I think she's focusing more on her big meaty paws than the mission at hand.
It's just bear.
I just wanted to understand the rules of the game. I mean, we could probably beat these guys and then join an audience with the sponsors and figure out what's going on.
That's not the suggestion I wanted to hear. Anyone else got any other ideas?
Well, as he says, as she looks towards you, You could attempt to play them and force them to use their drugs, hence allowing us for legal authority to bust in.
Isn't that entrapment?
No,
you're
'cause
stewards.
we're not making them take the drugs. We're just playing the sport, and they decided to cheat. That's different. That's...
If you wish to try and take on this sport, I'll tell you the rules quickly. Basically, the rules are you score a point for being able to hit your opponent, you know, breaking a few bones, teeth maybe, even just a bruise. If you manage to knock them down, then you get 2 points. Or 2 points per, you know, anything out of the ordinary. You know, throw them against a wall, throw them into their fellow people. You know, it's really the ref's job to supply their, you know, supply the points. But you do get 10 whole points if you do manage to score. That's in these small receptacles above the arena here and, well, here.
Is magic allowed in the sport, or is it all just physical skill?
You're not allowed to use magic on a ball. It's got an anti-magical device on it, but you are able and allowed to enhance yourself with your natural abilities.
All right.
After all this, there are certain styles of kill balls. By the way, she's getting like really into describing it. She may enjoy this
She
sport.
really loves kill ball.
You see, of course, there's different rules that you say, and by the way, as you hear that, you hear, and our first challenger arrives, as there seems to be a wolfman walking out.
Thiveron's just like putting his goggles down over his eyes and like looking around the crowd, just casually waving. Yes, yes.
It's like, and is that? Oh my! I think it's one of the managers.
Yes, yes, it's me, Thiveron.
Like everybody's a little tense about you walking out on there, though. Like,
What is the prize for defeating your team here?
You see the big guy
Please speak plainly.
lean over. It's like, oh, you wish to join in? Then that is good.
I didn't say that. I just wanted to know what the prize is.
Well, it would be poor sportsmanship to reveal the surprise prize, wouldn't it? It'd ruin the fun.
That is true. I'll play your game. And then I point out the two people that I want as teammates, the uplifted bear and the little space elf girl.
The big guy goes, so little man, who else is gonna fight? I see you have bear.
This Kizar plant person over here looks like they might be a good, very rooted stable.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kuzon, you're our hammer. We got to put you at the front of the formation. Let's just So now the side roles, I imagine, are like the forwards in soccer, who kind of like go around like the edges of the field and like look for shots, look for like flanks, look for.
Mm-hmm. And the guy behind is what's in like American football, who gets the ball and basically passes it and moves it about.
Yeah. He's the defense. He intercepts other people. All right. So we got the hammer up in front. We got the drills on the side, and we got the
I would say wrench.
Yeah,
I love that's actually what I was going to suggest too. We're on the same wavelength with these tool names for positions. Okay, well, I think Kuzon would be more effective in this as himself. So if they already know, then I'll ask them to turn me back.
My strategy is to cast slow on them.
You're a lizard now. What trick
Bite
is
your
this?
kneecaps!
He's angry lizard. He's so tiny.
I think you're the smallest quarter puncher in league history, or the smallest hammer, the smallest. Us with the tiny sledge up against Goliath here.
For the first turn, however, you're gonna have to do athletics against the big guy here.
I'm in 10 feet of you, so I'm gonna advance communalism on you if you.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, go ahead and re-roll that.
Fuck, I rolled like a 2 and a 4.
Oh, you guys are locked in, like, you just, boom, the ball hasn't been taken by either side. So, I'm going to say, starting off, it's you guys. Pick somebody to make a move.
I want to slow.
You want to slow. So, these three are slowed. However, since this guy is touching the ball, he is unaffected, as your spell penetration
nice.
didn't penetrate the anti-magic field.
Okay, so for let's see, duration 11 rounds. They are staggered and they can only move half their normal speed.
Oh.
Rounding down.
So now it's their turn. The big guy's going to attempt to wrench it away from your hands, and he's going to add +2 to his effect. He's basically like, this is him pushing himself beyond the limits. You see, like, his veins popping out. So roll me athletics against his. Cool, that was a good contest, but he manages to whip the ball away from you, like. Hang on, I should be able to. Controlled by. There we go. Just in case you have a ball, it's now controlled by all players. Right, he managed to make an action. However, he's going to take a step back with the ball and use his item interaction to basically slam it against his teammate. So when he does, hang on a minute, where's the... I'll just use this for the time being. That guy's slowed, that guy's slowed. However, he cures his middle person of the slow using the anti-magic field of the ball.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh no, this guy's smart. He's not just a big chin. He's got a brain in there.
Would setting them on fire be considered?
Yes, fireballs are illegal.
What do you mean I can't just kill them?
Right, he's got to stay away
I
from
wasn't gonna fireball them. They're in a perfect line. It would be a wall of fire.
He's got to stay away from the fireball.
Look, excuse me a second. Let me read the rules. Yeah, no, walls of fire aren't covered by the rule.
Yeah, not included. I guess I can do that, huh?
That's as far as he can get since he can't dash, since he used his actions.
Okay, I could try and use my range disarm on that fool, and I could, like, try to get the ball to one of you. Okay, he already went, actually, so someone get, like, between me and him.
I haven't gone yet. I can do that.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
I'm gonna barrel into him.
Oh, you're using the charge action.
Am I allowed to use weapons?
As long as rules you can.
Oh, I just assumed that we were okay. I didn't
would assume you
supercharge.
strike
As long as you don't pull out like a
Okay.
semi-automatic pistol, or fire somebody like your magic lance at them.
Just pull out a
Yeah,
pistol.
everything has to be clearly non-lethal.
I'm gonna bap him with my staff.
It's like, is that bear pulling out like a magical pink step?
A distinctive weapon that you're famous for? Why do we even come in disguises?
Right, these guys aren't wearing much armor.
This man will take the bear of my attacks.
There we go.
So as you dash up to him, you basically clock him around the jaw. He's like, poof, and he just rolls his jaw. It's like, not the bird, the bear. Strange you did not use claw, but not bad. And you see the scoreboard. King, 1 point for your team. What's your AC currently?
My KAC is 18.
Alright, so he does manage to hit the trip combat maneuver.
My boy just got laid out.
So you are now on the ground as he basically lariats you, just...
Prava is going to take a turn then to disarm this guy, and if I succeed in the disarm, I'm going to telekinetically rip it to myself, and I think Brian should be able to try to catch it. as it goes through.
Oh yeah, I would allow her to attempt to catch it if you.
So 30.
Oh, that hits.
Cool. So Prava, like a telekinetic hammer, just makes a circle of gravity and slaps the ball out of this boy's hand and like bounces it off the ground and then telekinetically rips it back.
You're Bryn, roll me sleight of hand as you're attempting to basically catch what Prava set out.
Alright, I'm good
Oh,
at that.
Yeah, Bryn now has the ball. That's...
I have the ball.
And 2 of them are still currently slowed.
Does that hit your armor class? I suspect it does.
Yeah.
As he basically throws the giant wrench at you and nails you at like the side,
Oh fuck.
and you see another ding point. Yep, Kuzon.
Yeah, I'm just gonna slap this guy. The problem is I don't actually have any melee weapons besides my power armor fists. So I guess I'm just punching him. No. Alright.
Did you stand up?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, he decided to move instead. Now it's time to reset. Take a step here. He's going to attempt to... Oh, 29. Could you roll me a fortitude save, Bryn? Oh, you made it.
I did it.
You take 6 non-lethal as you see him like suddenly weave to the side, basically trying to cover Thiveron from you as he slams into your quote-unquote bear hide into the side, and you see electricity spark off his gloves. Like,
You son of bitch.
seemed like he may have tried to stun glove you. So, who's next? Who's gonna be taking next turn?
I have an idea if Bryn is cool with throwing it to me.
Oh yeah, do you want to move and then I'll pass it to you?
You're getting
Well,
ready
this
to
is what
fly.
I'm going to do. I'm going to take a 5-foot step here, and I'm going to throw a teleportation puck that I made like 5 levels below.
That's...
Oh
God.
I'm going to throw it right there for AC 5. So I'm going to roll my my spear throw, but it's against AC 5, and it's at a -2 because it's 1 range increment.
Let's see what you're doing.
19. So yep, it lands.
Just like,
Whoop.
so you're, and then he just disappears. Like, what?
And then I raise my hand up like I'm open, and I'm just like very boredly like standing there with one hand up.
Let's see. What would they do? Yeah, I think he's gonna try moving in for interception. That's all we can really do. He's so slow. He's trying to move, and you see him in slow motion. Da, 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 da.
Thiveron doesn't need to play sports.
Can I take a 5-foot step and then pass?
You could.
And then what do I guess athletics to pass?
I guess it
Or
would be...
acrobatics?
Yeah, I think it's like a throwing weapon, isn't it? Wouldn't it just be an attack roll?
Yeah, it would be an attack. You're basically
Oh.
trying to attack him. It's the same as the hockey puck.
22.
22. Let's have a look. I'm gonna roll this. So as you throw the ball, you just like the bear throw, I guess, over the top of the head. And you see this guy in slow motion jump up into the air going, and the ball just misses his fingertips. He's like, no.
Too slow.
And the ball just flies past into Thiveron's hands.
Hey.
It's like,
Thiveron just smiles.
the guy's still like, no, still going down towards the ground. Everybody else is in normal motion. Oh God.
We're in the kill zone.
If I get an attack of opportunity, can you do a maneuver?
I think
Like,
any
can I-
attack can be a maneuver.
Yeah, if he tries
So,
to get away from
he
me,
can
I'm gonna
take
try
an
and grapple him.
You can take an acrobatics check to tumble out of a threatened square without an attack of opportunity. But if he fails that acro check, he stays where he loses his move and he gets attacked.
Right, he's gonna try to tumble. Let's have a look. So, so he attempts, but you can like take attacks. He's like, no, and then you probably just grab his coat and attempt to pull him back for a punch.
No, I missed then. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. So, Thiveron, Kuzon managed to block this dude from ever moving. So you're safe, I suppose. Prava, what did you want to do since you were last one?
Time to just score some free points, I guess. I'm just gonna run up and slap this slowed guy over here in the face.
Oh no.
So like I cover my arm in symbiote, like my white fur starts to like go silver as this metal oozes up, and I just dash up to here and just jump in the air and punch this guy in the face.
Just like
A little bit of gravity behind me, you know, like a little cloud of dust just sprays out every direction, anime style.
Vex gets like leans back as Vex scales.
I'm just gonna punch this guy. Dang. Well, I did a regular punch this time.
Yeah,
I didn't
you
do
hit.
maneuver. Yep. Yeah. So that's in the roll I did. So it's 9.
Farah, does that hit your AC?
30, yup.
Nice. So essentially, as you punch him in the jaw, he swings back with his giant wrench, slamming into like your symbiote arm that you attacked with and knocking like into you. Like, ugh. You hear the crowd going wild. Yeah. Now it's the next round, and I think you know who's going to go first.
Go, Thiveron, go.
He just kind of leisurely walks over here and drops it in.
Remember, that's at least 10 foot off the ground from where you are. So you can't go straight up to it and try to jump and just toss it in. It'll be much less of a like roll for you to get it
Goes
in.
for a casual layup.
Casual dunk.
So ranged attack?
Yeah. Or athletics if you really want to dunk.
No, I don't. He's a finesse player. He's going for the casual layup, which sometimes is even more insulting.
It's like, oh no, I can't score. Huh.
What?
You're lucky because the AC is 15 normally, but since you're so close, it's -5. So you did dunk it in.
It was one of those dunks where it was kind of messy and it looked like it was almost about to bounce back, and it just
it's like
tumbles in.
it's like oh no, and it bounces side to side on the thing. It's like you're like, whew. So yeah, getting close probably saved you there. Well done.
Yep.
So how's this work in this game after
Holy
the
shit,
score?
look
Do
at
we,
that
like, reset
damage roll,
position?
though.
Yeah, you fucking destroyed that dude.
36.
So here's the current score that flashes on screen as there's like a whistle like,
Oh, that's worth a lot.
it's like you see the others go, God damn. All right, everyone back to your positions. You see that the ball's like being brought back over by a ref, put in the middle. You see Cole like, yeah, brother. So they were like waiting there. All you hear from above you, since he's not that far away, is like, you're starting to disappoint me. He says like grumpily, and he's looking towards you as everything's getting prepared. And you see like the people behind them looking towards each other, like back and forth. And you see them reach their coats and pull out what appears to be a small injector.
Mother.
Drugs.
I tell someone to let the steward agent know.
Can't we just telepathically tell them?
I can't. I can only talk telepathically to you guys. Well, I guess I could cast telepathic message and send that to him.
Oh yeah, I also I have telepathic message. I could say.
I do that.
Let's see, Kuzon, could you roll perception?
Perception?
Yeah. Oh, that's barely enough. Yeah, okay. As you're looking towards like this guy, you see that unlike the others who are like all nodding to each other, like it's like let's get him. This big guy is looking very unsure about holding this thing. He's like, oh.
You mean like the ball, or do you mean
No,
like
the injector.
syringe?
The drugs. He's not a doper because he's a big man.
He's here for the love of the game. He doesn't want to sully it.
Kuzon just whispers, like, winners don't do drugs.
Are you trying to convince him that winners don't do drugs, kids?
I'm trying to convince him that winners don't do drugs, kids. I have a 0 to diplomacy. Oh, it was meant to be! It was meant to be!
I'm gonna aid you with telepathic.
It was meant to be!
Yeah, you're within 10 feet. So, it's 21. Okay. Huh. I didn't expect that. Okay, so essentially, Prava, are you like sending messages? It's like his head, like it's like you're meant to be like a big man. You need drugs.
I'm like using perception to make Kuzon look more like trustworthy and honorable in this guy's eye. I'm like adding like a little like glimmer, like a little, and I'm like kind of like opening Kuzon's mind up to his directly, like showing like his sincerity forward.
Oh, I see. So as you do that, you see him look up towards you. As you see the others behind him, like injecting with drugs, you see him like hold it for a moment and crush it in his hand and toss the parts to the side. Like, I will crush you with my own hands.
Yeah.
My name is Brian, by the way. Nice. Ready to roll athletics?
Yes, give me the freaking ball.
Give me ball. Oh, he was distracted by your winners don't do drugs, kids speech as you made the ball.
So I'm gonna move. Oh, wait, I guess I probably would get in trouble for using my flight system, huh? That's just a part of me now. I don't need to hold anything for that.
It may go against the spirit of the game, you know.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I do want to try and use my flight system, but I want to make it look like I'm doing a big jump. Actually, I only have 15 feet of like flight, whatever. Anyway, so I'm gonna use 5 step over here. I'm gonna step over here, moving like this. I'll put him in a really awkward position, and I'm gonna hold my action and prepare to throw it.
Ah, I see.
I'll move here. I only have 30 feet. I forgot. So I'm used to using the robot. Or power armor. But yeah, so I'll stop there. I'll hold my action to throw it.
I've got fancy movement boosters now, so I got a 40-foot move. I can get all the way over here in 2 move actions.
Yeah, but I can in 1 action just get to like here and then have Kuzon pass the ball and just lay up. So I'm actually gonna go to like Kuzon. What's the range increment of this ball? What's the optimal like distance to throw it from?
I'm not sure.
Oh, Ash just said BRB, so you can't answer that question. When Ash is back, we'll find out what the range increment of that, because we can like 35 foot it. That'd be like a pretty optimal.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be harder for me to throw past this guy, though.
Oh, in that case, then I could just go directly to here and then try and score from there.
That might work. Because I assume there has to be a penalty if I try to throw past him, especially since I'm short.
Yeah. So I'll go to here and I'll try and like angle it into the. So this is tentatively my move. So we'll be at -2 for you to throw it to me. Then I'll have to flip it.
I would do a ranged attack, right? It's Dex probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So that'd be -3 then. That would be a 12.
He is grappling you, so he does get a chance.
Oh, he's grappling me? Oh, I didn't realize. Sorry, I was in the bathroom.
Don't worry, it doesn't stop you from throwing exactly. But he is gonna try to. He's gonna get a bonus. Yeah, there. Basically,
Okay, so
he hits it just out of your hand and basically forces the ball to roll that over there. So,
Cool. So it was my move action to go over here. Then I'm gonna use gravity hold to pull the ball into my hands.
Make it look like a weird curve throw.
And unfortunately, I had to use my action to correct that fumble, so that's my whole
We
turn.
still got it that far away from it.
Well done. I don't think the big guy's going to go just yet. This guy is going to inject himself again.
Oh no, doubling up the dosage. That can't be
Double
safe.
doping. Oh no.
And as he does, you see him start moving faster. And he's like, "Ugh, ugh."
His head's gonna pop.
He's charging you, Thiveron. Ah,
That's not enough.
he's a bit too excited as he's like, "Goosh," and you can see that his muscles are bulging, his scales are starting to rip slightly from the effects.
You should settle down on that.
Well,
I-
who hasn't gone yet? So this guy
You and
hasn't gone.
Thiveron.
Has this guy gone?
No. You and Thiveron haven't
Okay.
gone, and this big guy and this guy haven't gone.
Because I could try to run interception on one of these guys.
The way I see it, there's like two strategies, right? Either we avoid hits or we get hits. Because we can just like farm points over here. Next round I can score right at the start and reset it. So either score points or avoid points.
Yeah, I say you just get yourself into a position where you get a reaction and you can punch somebody.
Because I could.
If he's still slowed, he doesn't have a reaction.
Oh, so I could go in, punch him, and then leave his square without.
I don't think you can move, punch, and then move without a special.
Yeah,
feat,
yeah,
though.
but like later.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Unless you want to go Thiveron, it's up to you. I would just
Well,
be.
all
running
I was gonna
interception.
do was gonna punch this guy and then move up to potentially force a attack of opportunity here.
Okay.
Why would we take the risk attack opportunity? That's just giving them chances to score points.
I was gonna burn a resolve for plus 11, do an acro check.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Useful.
I could also try to charm somebody. Is that allowed?
Well, they wouldn't notice.
Yeah, because they find out or not.
They wouldn't notice until later.
Yeah. They would just think that you're like a particularly pretty bear.
It's so fluffy.
They wouldn't attack any of us though. So I'm gonna the big guy. No, we've kind of, he seems like an alright guy.
He's a sportsman. Do one of the dopers.
I'll get one of the I would like to get the double doper, but I'd rather run interference on this guy, and I'm gonna charm him. What? Well, technically it's soothing protocol, but
You count as.
I use my brain hack, and yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember how we did this
Oh,
last
oh.
time. It's that
All the creepy stuff.
have a CR lower than your level. This guy has got a CR lower than your level. So he counts as a computer having a CR, so he's like, oh, pretty bear.
So I'm gonna telepathically inform everybody not to punch this guy, but he also won't attack any of us.
Does he also get a will save though against your spellcaster DC?
Oh, right, yeah, 1 second.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, whoa.
Okay, so he
Well-
does not think you're that pretty.
Never mind, it doesn't work. Dang
You're
it.
probably a
Alright.
7.
It's like, sorry, pretty bear, I gotta win.
Alright,
see him,
but
like,
I'll
looking
still
up
be
towards the
here.
You see him like looking up towards a noble, like above them, like the guy who's leaning over the noble bench, looking down at you, going. Right, who's next? I think it is one of these two, and he is going to also inject himself, and he's going to attempt to grapple bear.
Not grapple bear. 24.
Nope, he does not he does not grapple bear. The bear is too huggable. Thiveron.
Can't handle all this honey.
Thiveron is going to 5-foot step here and then turn his spear around to the back end. I'm going to non-lethally smack him in the face. Does that count as a point?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is just at -2 for non-lethal. $23 to hit for 23 non-lethal damage.
And you hit. The back of his spear just ugh. And he's basically taking a nice position here to try and block the ball.
Okay, I got a plan. Bryn or Kuzon sprint up to like here and take a held action to throw the ball into the net after oh, never mind, I can't. I was gonna trip him and then throw the ball, but that'd be 2 attack actions.
I won't be able to because this guy's holding on to me. I think I need to spend. What do I spend to try and break the grapple?
I think you get a free save at the start of the turn to break out of the grapple, or just to
It's not a free save. He has to physically break out of it.
I was wondering if it might be a move to try to break it, and then I get an action.
I can just try and get it into the net anyway and try and end this round right away. So the way I see it, my shot's kind of blocked, but I can still go for it. But do you guys want to try and like farm points by taking hits before I try and end the round, or would you rather me just go for the?
I'd say just go for it, to be honest.
All right. Ash, can I acrobatics check to run and jump over this guy's head and dunk?
You want to go over and dunk over him?
Yeah, just leap over this guy's head and just slam it right into the...
I tell you what, essentially what you would be doing, and I would allow it, is a tumble check past him in order to make sure he can't interfere as you dunk.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
acrobatics check for during your movement, and then you
his
can
ankles.
attack to dunk.
Okay, beautiful.
Break him.
Use the acrobatics.
Oof.
Let me see. What was it?
16 for the tumble.
Well, tumbling through a square that an opponent is in is a 20 plus 1.5 times CR.
I see. Sadly, he's blocked you. So, as you attempted to get to him, you were blocked around
Alright,
here.
so I don't have to hear any blocks, but I can still make the throw, I just can't.
Alright, here's the thought. Throw it behind yourself, just like in that corner, and then force them to move through threatened squares in order to get it, so we can keep them occupied until everybody else can get back here.
Good call. Okay, so I'm gonna whiff it to like here. I'm gonna roll anyway, but I'm just gonna whiff it to the square.
Yeah, the guy's looking towards you a bit confused, like, huh? You do not wish to challenge me?
Prava is just gonna take a defensive stance and kind of like his symbiote's gonna like come up and motion like come at me.
You are interesting. Right then, let's see who can go. Yeah, okay. I think this guy will go.
I mean, he's got to let me go if he wants to go for it, right? So it's win-win either way.
Yeah, he's going to move over here. So you may attack of opportunity since he's not trying to protect himself.
Yeah. He is one of the guys that I have targeted.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of my exocortex targets. So yeah. No, I'm just gonna try and trip him as he goes to get away from me. I'll give it a shot. Dang, I can't roll anything right now.
He ducks under you, his gold chains and the like. That looks like medals he's made himself as he ducks under. He's like, and he dashes over this way. So, but he doesn't go all the way as he's like, don't worry, I got this. And he pulls out 2 injectors.
Oh God.
As uses his item interaction and his stand action just go. He's using
How
them
much-
out in the
how
open. He's not
much
even
more
hiding it anymore. He's
dope
like,
can they get?
Oh my-
Jeez.
And this lady's just over here cheering for the game, like, yeah! Ooh,
No, at this
kill
point, I'm
them."
just tempted to signal for my power armor to start walking to me.
well,
like,
these two down here, you see actually at the bottom, you actually see the SWAT lady has joined as well. Looks like they're ready. So, the thing is, as he does this, you can see him like collapse to one knee. He's like, ugh.
He just
He's
overdosed.
transforming. Magical girl transformation, except it's yeah.
No, no, it's red border now.
You hear his skin ripping as before you see this figure.
Foul? Question mark. Ref? Question mark.
You see like some people like, oh, what the.
That looks awfully Zonkathon to me.
I like the little zombie man getting his head ripped in half.
When you see that, you hear most of the people like, what, and they're like backing up, and you see like some stewards like in the crowd moving through it. But technically, it is your turn.
Do I try to
Um,
soothe this man? Do I try to soothe it? Am I gonna try to? Maybe this time I'll succeed.
So it seems like something's gone a little wrong. What's going on? I have no idea. Like for announcers, but you see like the big guy get up from his seat and is like,
I think I'm just gonna go for the ball.
We can still win.
okay, it's like I'm gonna dunk it.
Are you sure you don't want me to try to soothe this big giant beast first?
I'm just thinking. So I know one thing I'm gonna do. I'm sorry, I'm just refreshing my page because I'm afraid that I'm desyncing. So it's I can combine the dash with my flight systems, I think, to give me like a bunch of movement speed, right? Like if I just run. And my flight is always equal to half my movement speed. So I think what I can do is like run here, jump like over his head, and then land on the other side and get the ball. And if I'm just like smooth enough, I can make it look like I'm just really good at jumping.
Oh.
Oh, I can't. Are you saying something, Alex? Your thing's blinking, but I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, sorry, I just hit the button.
Yeah, I see. Like the distance is fine. For your jump
Yeah.
systems, it's 20 foot in like down.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna like jump in the air. Like while I'm in the air, I'm just gonna make eye contact with the crowd and just wink and like do finger guns while I'm like soaring through the air.
The large ripping mutated mutant like swings at you with his fist, just like woof, as you fly overhead, but you just out of range of his like range. Just
And I'm gonna land down next to the ball and just grab it. I can't take any actions, but I'm just gonna be like, no.
it's like you'll regret that.
Yeah, and while that's going on, I am gonna message. I'm gonna use the control module in my armor, and I'm just gonna summon to start walking. I have 100-foot range, so wherever I parked it in the station, I can communicate with it. But yeah, I'll get it to start coming. That's the end of my turn.
So one of those freaks gets to go now.
Yes, they do. Let's
I
see.
feel like seeing your allies position themselves though.
Oh, they're right next to. Well, he tried to hit Brian before. No, I think this guy is one of the only people that haven't gone, isn't he?
I haven't gone.
Yeah, Kuzon was our second action, so most people haven't gone. This is their second action. Only one of them's gone.
Oh yeah, that dude's gone. This guy's gonna be like, what the fuck at that guy, while this one tries punching Thiveron. He's gonna try to combat maneuver actually. Let's see if he can do it. With his newfound strength. No,
Nope.
he's too much of a Void Rager. He's not doing it. Right, next.
This guy seems kind of shaken. I kind of want to like try and convince him that this situation's more important than the game.
You're gonna try convincing him, do you?
Yeah. I'm probably just gonna look this guy flat out and be like, look, man, like, I'm not a big fan of this sport, but I understand that your love of the game is something, like, pure and honest. Obviously, what these guys are doing is wrong. I'm with station security. I want to get the drugs out of this game so that you guys can go back to playing it your way. What do you say we put the game aside and deal with the situation?
He's gonna look towards you and then look towards the thing.
Critical fail on my, of course.
You get a reroll. Remember my magic wizard robes.
Oh yeah.
I think that still has communalism rules, so I still have to be within 10 feet of an ally.
Oh yeah.
Did that take our like turn in the for me to just talk to this guy, or did that happen outside of the sports ball game?
I would say outside, to be honest. It's only
Okay.
talking to him and you're right next to him.
Perfect. So who wants to take their turn now?
I can tell those guys are leaving, right?
Yeah, you can see him like going through the crowd, like pushing people
Alright.
aside.
All right, I'm going. I'm going to risk the attack of opportunity from this guy. Don't care.
But points.
No, I don't think we care about winning the game anymore.
I don't care. He hits me.
But you lose points.
I don't care. We're winning. Okay, and then I'm dropping an ectoplasmic barrage on them. Ectoplasmic eruption. So it's a 30-foot radius. So I'll draw that out. I'll do it right there. So it leaves one of the guards out, but it hits this guy, hits all three of them. They have to take a DC 21 reflex save for half damage, but if they fail, they're going to take 66 damage and they're going to be entangled.
Oh. What was the DC?
21 reflex.
Holy shit. The big guy made it.
What? He was the one I was sure I was going to catch.
He only had 2. That was a roll.
Oh.
Let's see, the chick. She did make it. The guards are very shitty at...
Well, there's only one guard, too.
So, only the big guy is like, the fuck? Oh, the big guy. Hang on a second. Let's go for the big guy. I was talking about the fat guy. He's slow.
That's only 20 damage.
Oh, he made it too.
Okay, so people that made it take 10, the people that failed take 20 and are now entangled.
Ah, 1 second. Let me... So I guess with this, you're signaling go time on the raid?
Yup.
Ah.
Ensnare, being entangled impedes your movement but does not entirely prevent you from moving unless the bonds are anchored to an immobile object or tethered by an opposing force. You move at half speed, you cannot run or charge, and you take a -2 penalty to your AC attack rolls, reflex saving throws, initiative checks, and dexterity-based skill and ability checks.
Take a breath. So I guess this is going to be the end of the Kill Ball game, as
Yup.
Thiveron basically sets off a signal
So do we roll proper initiative now?
Yeah.
I will say I have to teach a lesson at 2:30, so I'll probably have to go exactly at 2. I don't care if somebody moves me around and finishes the combat.
Oh no, don't worry. This is going to be actually. There's no point in initiative. You are on your own station. I don't think they would be able to escape if all your security. So, essentially, we're going to play this out sort of like the ball game, but it's not going to take that long. As you see, like the security, like the shepherds, like coming in. Shepherds. I got saying still.
The stewards.
Stewards. You see the stewards coming in, shepherding your butt. And as you do, Kuzon, you activated your armor, right?
Yeah, I gave it, because I have a planet-wide communicator and a control module. I signal it to move out of the workshop and start running towards us.
You see the big guy, like about to flipping proper void rage out as the guy finally decides, okay, I will help you hold them off. And he's going to take his turn, move up here. Yeah, he's basically like wrestling the void out guy locked down, and you see the floor crack a bit as he's like, "Ugh." And Kuzon, your armor, you hear boom, boom, boom from above, and suddenly bolts and a few wires drop down as your armor falls through the ceiling, right next to just. And from the individual vents, it seems like something else was called as well, as the security may have been set up, maybe the stewards had contacted them, but suddenly you see these drop down. You see your bots fall down all around you, wedging their guns. The crowd is panicking around you.
I am going to power up. This will count as I'll mark the tick for a hasty equip, but I will hop into it.
I suggest one of you calm down this big guy.
Him down, you say?
Brian's been waiting to break out the deadly spells all game.
By the way, you do probably notice from where you are, this big guy is no longer moving. He's stopped, like he's freeze framed.
That's sus. That's sus.
This guy's still raging the fuck out though.
If you want to soothe that boy, that's helpful. Let's end this non-violently.
Yeah, I'll inform everybody about the man acting sus so that someone else can hopefully do an action. Okay, this time for sure, he's not gonna make a DC 19. I'm sure of it this time.
Being drugged up should definitely give you a minus.
You are going to provoke an attack of opportunity from him though, because he's large. He's got 10-foot threat.
Ouchies, that hits. Plus 20, he'd have to roll like a 1 to not hit me. Jesus.
A lot better armor.
I did this!
Only 8. Oh, wait. Plus...
No, it's only 8. It's only 8. No.
Plus 5.
It's only 8.
So that's 13 damage, and that's lethal damage he's attempting to apply to you.
Son of a bee sting. All right, well, have him save his soothing. Let's see. Come on.
Oh. I forgot the plus, but that's not enough. So essentially, he punches, like, boom, hits the bear, but then the bear's like, soothe, fluff.
Get really fluffy and do an alluring dance.
And the guy's like, win. And he's still being like held by the guy who's grappling him. He's like,
nobody attack him!
Since you've soothed the big guy, you see the stewards moving into what appear to be their main objective.
Can I just like jump up onto the stands to help them out? Just in case something goes wrong, to be like right there.
I think so, yes.
But just jetpack up.
It's like, poof.
And what are you doing on our station distributing these drugs?
The big guy is still frozen in place like a marionette that's just stopped moving, and he's still smiling away like. Huh.
Prava actually has like eyes now, so I can actually like just flick my vision, look directly at this girl, and give a pointed look, unlike my usual unfocused bug eyes. Well, do you speak for the two of you then?
I suppose you could tell. He is a beautiful construct, is he not?
I judge the beauty of a construct by the work they do, not the craftsmanship that went into it.
She's like not struggling against the bonds that Thiveron has her in, by the way. What do the bonds look like? I never did ask. Is it like a
They're
few
like
chains?
ectoplasmatic hands and chains. Yep.
Yeah, it's like poof, 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 poof. I suppose there is no way out of this for me.
Let's take it this means you're coming in quietly.
Unless I wanted to fight through an entire station of staff, I'll come quietly.
Prava just kind of nods to the stewards then.
The stewards like move up, like making sure to avoid any of the hands, which I suspect Thiveron is unleashing on them.
Yeah, I'm not doing it on them.
The guards seem to be moved to the side with
I'm probably just going to look to the stewards and say, just so we're clear, we're targeting the distributors here. I consider the people taking the drugs victims as well. I'm sure that man didn't intend for his transformation.
Yes, that is what happens when you overdose on bad stuff. She says that you can tell that she's also void out on the same stuff, as her veins are glowing slightly blue on her face, but she's extraordinarily calm.
And you're sure the stuff you use won't lead to that as well?
Perhaps if I overdosed on about 5 of them, but I doubt that would ever happen.
He doesn't like it. He's got nothing to say to that without spend some time hitting the books on Pact World laws.
It's best you not talk to me about it. As I said, I'm resistant to its more emotional effects. And you see, like, the others, the big guy's starting to calm down a lot now.
On your way.
Bryn is patting him.
Sush, pap.
Shush, pat. It's okay.
It's okay, everything is calm. Oh, the vampire does turn towards, like Kuzon down below. He's like, well, it seems like you have all won. You may have your prize. Simply open the pinata.
Where is the ball the pinata? Is the ball the pinata?
No, she gestures towards that guy.
Oh, gross.
And she's going to be taken away. It's like, come on.
Right, Prava's gonna call like the bomb defusal squad just in case to be the ones to actually deal with whatever this is. I don't want no prize this lady has for me.
By the way, you see like some people starting to come back over now, like nearer to the situation, asking like the other steward about what's happening. Even come up to you and says, "Does this mean we don't get kill ball anymore?"
No, I don't like the sport, but everyone participating is here with consent. I can't rightfully ban something you enjoy so much and so passionately. Yeah, I definitely want you guys to clean up your act as far as this goes.
Yeah, I had no idea where they got those from.
And hopefully we'll get to the bottom of it now that we have the distributors in custody.
True. By the way, you see that these guys are now walking off on their own. Like, she let them go.
Hold on. They were guards for these guys. Are we sure we should just let them go?
Oh, they were mercenaries, simply hired when they arrived. They had nothing to do with this, well, you know.
The word you can't say, I gotcha.
So if we arrest them, we would really have to arrest, well, those involved in taking the drug as well. But we are respecting your words and not doing such.
That's fine, as long as they weren't knowingly participating in this operation, I have no problem with them.
Understood.
Heading off. When I was done with this, he's just gonna hop down and return to his crew.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel good about anything about today.
As you think that, all you hear is, "Murder Ball was awesome!" as Nicole runs across. I want to have a go next.
I'm sorry, Cole. I know it was always your dream to play in one of these.
Oh, I don't have flesh anymore. By the way, Kuzon, are you popping open the guy? Quote unquote.
Open him. Open him. Open him.
Bum, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Right.
Peel back his flesh.
As you
Air horns.
as you open him up, you find a piece of an envelope.
Yeah.
Essentially, you get like a bundle of cash that you can calculate. You see like a cache of the same drug that they were using, which give it. Are you going to hide it away, or are you going to give it to the steward?
Is Thiveron's like in the wind still kind of hide Kuzon? Could he like sneak it even from us if he wanted to?
He could if he really wanted to.
I mean, I wanna analyze this stuff for myself because that's physical science to like figure out what the chemical makeup is and stuff, right?
You want it for study. Well,
Yes.
if you want, you could take maybe 1, 2 instead of the whole case. By the way, this guy pats you on the back, Prava. He's like, "You're a good player. Hope play again soon."
Don't hold your breath. I fight when I have to, not for fun.
And he's like, he gives a nod and starts walking away himself. And you hear Cole go, Did you know who that was? That was Ball Ryan. He's famous back in the Spike.
Uh-huh. You sure you don't want to run off and get an autograph then before he's gone?
Oh, you know I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't leave you. Could I?
Nicole, you're a free man.
You see him go off immediately, trying to talk to him, trying to get an autograph. Prava's like, you may not agree with Killball, but Cole's
Yeah, no, I'm happy Cole's happy.
Mhm.
Prava's just gonna turn his gaze towards this, and then suddenly chains materialize around this guy, just in case Brian's spell,
Yeah, it starts to wear off.
Yeah.
But
It lasts.
Sorry, Brian, what was that?
It lasts a while.
You do see like the steward over here. It's like, if you wish, we could trank them.
Sure, yeah. If he struggles, he might hurt himself.
You also see that your bot's also like containing the other without people. And you hear from a distance, it's like, yeah, you want to go too? I bet you can't score against me. And basically, as you guys are cleaning this situation up, and the crowds are starting to filter out as the stewards have locked down their, suspect. And I say the last thing for this session is, as Kuzon maybe opens the letter and he checks inside, you see a small deed to a house on Eox.
Ooh.
Damn.
Until next time, more Kill Ball!